welcome back to Sussex Police. We're here with Chief Constable Joe Shiner in the Sussex Police control room. Joe, we're now going to talk about Sussex Police, some of the areas that Sussex is particularly successful in, and some of the areas where there's work in progress. So let's start with those areas where you're particularly proud of the work that Sussex has been doing in the relatively recent past.
Yeah, of course, and that's exactly the reason why we're in the control room, really, because this is all about how we can make sure that we can give that really positive experience of Sussex Police to those people who need to contact us, often in their time of great need, to make sure that we get the right people to be dispatched to go and help them. And this is an area in which we've really developed our technology and invested in it hugely to make sure that we can answer those calls quicker, we can deal with them in a more efficient way, and that we can dispatch our resources in the most effective way so that our victims, our callers, our witnesses feel that we're giving them an outstanding service.
This is the first point of contact for many, potentially in crisis, where they are looking for a response, support, maybe reassurance from Sussex Police. So the control room and the staff here are absolutely key to people's perception of Sussex Police. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, it's absolutely spot on, because, you know, our incredible call handlers need to be able to really listen to and ask quite sensitive questions often of those people who, as you say, are often distraught, often confused, sometimes under the influence of alcohol, and often who have been the victim of some quite horrific offences or incidents, or witnessed as such. So they need to be incredibly calm, incredibly professional, very thorough and very diligent in how that information is taken, making sure that we really do calm as much as we can those people who are calling us, and then making sure that as quickly as we can dispatch officers or the equivalent resource to make sure that we can help them.
Now, you inferred that performance in the not too distant past was not as good as it is now. So you've made some significant improvements. What were those improvements that you've been making?
So the improvements are technology related, and what they enable is for that technology to make sure that from the very first point of the call coming into our switchboard, if you like, that it's then dealt with appropriately, effectively, efficiently, in the minimum amount of time for that caller to get the best possible response. And in the past, honestly, it wasn't good enough. People were waiting far too long, particularly on 101 calls. We had quite a few calls that were abandoned, whereas now, for the last couple of months, we've been sort of one of the leading forces in terms of our 9s response times, and we're down to a really, really short waiting time for our 101 times as well.
And so it's technology that is supporting the police staff here, and police officers, I suspect, as well, in giving that service. The technology is supporting the staff in being able to triage or to determine the correct path for that particular caller.
Yeah, as with everything, it is technology, but you also need really committed and really professional people, police staff and police officers, to be able to bring that technology for life for those people who call us. But technology is key, without a doubt, to making sure that, as a chief, I can make their life as easy as I can by giving them the right tools to do their job, which then serve our public as well.
Now, I'm sure that it's not just in the control room where Sussex Police, the officers and staff, have given you occasion to be particularly proud of the work that your team is doing. What about other areas beyond that?
Look, it's such a privilege being a Chief Constable, and particularly of a force like Sussex. I am proud every single day of what everybody within the organisation does, either to support, if you like, the frontline policing operation, or indeed those who are on the front line. I'm a very operational chief, so I did a shift on response last week. I often do, and I think it's really important, because then you can experience actually the challenges, the impact of how quickly some of the calls are coming in, and actually how difficult some of those challenges in policing, such as mental health, that perhaps we'll come on to, actually are in terms of the complex decision making and society that we police now.
Well, mental health you mentioned there. I know from previous visits, including to places like Humberside, that the challenge to policing of dealing with those that are in mental health episodes of some description, it is quite immense, and it's not always the police are not always the right responders to those particular instances. Can you describe for us some of the work that Sussex has been doing in supporting those that are subject to mental health trauma and episode?
So we're very much on the journey of right care, right person. In fact, we've implemented what we are looking at as the first stage of that, so the assessment of whether or not it should actually be police that respond to the incident that's coming in. I do truly believe that it's often not of help if a uniform turns up to someone who is vulnerable and who is mentally ill. What they actually need is trained people from mental health services or from the ambulance service, whichever appropriate medical service, to be able to properly assess their needs and get them the help that they need. So we are firmly on the right care, right person journey and working really carefully with our partners to make sure that whilst we do assess what the police should be doing, we also don't let down anybody who needs our help either.
What about work going on in Sussex that is currently work in progress? I'd have no doubt that you have projects that are looking further to improve the service to the citizens of Sussex. Some of those will be early in their delivery, some of them will be close to full delivery. Can you tell us anything about one or more of that type of project?
So I would probably say that we're on a journey with everything in policing for that, because I'm not sure that any force or any chief could say we're actually at the final endpoint and we're perfect in any area of policing, because of course society, legislation changes. So that would probably be my answer to that. But I think in terms of those areas of real focus to us, they are around, and continue to be around, recognising that real vulnerability amongst some of particularly our young people who are getting caught up, whether it's with antisocial behaviour, whether it's with shoplifting, whether it's with some of the county lines, the knife crime, and really making sure that we can do as much as we can to prevent young people from getting into trouble in the first place, and try to work with our partner agencies to really identify where those who are incredibly vulnerable really do need that extra help. We are very lucky. We've worked hard in Sussex Police to make sure that we've really got a good base of information to help us do that. So we're very progressed in terms of Power BI, which is the tool that we use for all of the information, the intelligence, press button. It's out across the workforce. Everybody uses it to understand what it is around, whether it's victims, whether it's witnesses, whether it's offenders, whether it's different geographical locations, hotspot policing, whether it's the workload of our officers, whether it's the welfare of our officers. We use Power BI really effectively in force to be able to deliver that. So we've got the information. There's just a few areas where we need to make sure we're as efficient and as effective as we can to do all of that safeguarding and to protect, catch and deliver, which of course is the priorities.
Joe, you had your policing career started in Norfolk. You progressed to Kent, and then you came to Sussex, where you joined as deputy prior to promotion to Chief Constable here. Now, each force, and there are in excess of 43, closer to 50 probably, across the United Kingdom, has its own particular characteristics. Now, with Sussex here in Lewes, there is a well-known event once a year that really I think that the town of Lewes is particularly proud of, but that does cause some policing challenges. I think you know what I'm referring to. So can you tell our audience something about that particular event and how Sussex over many years has policed that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Look, Sussex is beautiful, isn't it? And I think it is such a diverse county to police. We've got a Premier League football club, we've got Gatwick, obviously, we're a super rural county, 140 miles of coastline, and then we do have quite a number of events, whether it's, we've got quite high levels of protest often in Brighton, and then we have Bonfire Night in Lewes.
Night, yes.
And it is quite incredible. And certainly the first year that I was here and saw it, I probably couldn't believe my eyes, if I'm honest.
I've never seen it. I must make a point of coming to. I'm adding to your policing challenge. Apologies on that.
Absolutely incredible. It really is. But again, we have really good, experienced public order commanders who plan very carefully throughout the year with our partners and with the bonfire societies. And that's an integral part of Lewes, is the bonfire society. societies to make it as safe a night as we possibly can, and to work collegiately with everybody so that people can enjoy what is a huge tradition in Lewes and in Sussex, because it's not just in Lewes, of course, where they're held right across Sussex, but Lewes is the largest, most famous one.
Well, it's a fascinating place, is Lewes. Walking up to Force Headquarters a little earlier today, I passed by what I understand to be the largest freshwater open-air swimming pool in the country. Quite a remarkable pool, actually, and I'm sorely tempted to return, perhaps a little more in the summer when it's warmer to that. But Joe Shiner, Chief Constable of Sussex Police, for the moment, thank you so much. We'll come back in a moment or two with some more reflections on your policing career.
Thank you.